Okay, gang, we are back and we're gonna open up these absolutely incredible looking figures. They are ultimate rivals. At least Zemo here is probably next to Red Skull the most. It's probably his biggest rival, I guess you could say. And the Zemo character is interesting because it's kind of like a two-generational character, right? Because the first appearance is actually his father, who gets like the mask like melted to his face or super glued to his face or whatever in a fight with Cap. And then he was like I guess a Nazi or whatever, and was or at least part of Hydra, and he escaped to South America, which, funny enough, that's how it's kind of the conspiracy theory or whatever, is that a lot of the Nazis that were never found, or the top leads, escaped to places like South America. And people say even Hitler himself escaped to there. And I mean, I've seen some pictures online of sort of a Hitler-looking kind of guy without the mustache in the 1950s. So that's just a little conspiracy theory to kind of throw out there, if you guys are interested in that kind of stuff. But I digress. Let's open these figures. We're going to probably start with Cap here, this brand new Captain America figure, super iconic looking. Get out of here, Zemo, for now. Be gone, Zemo! And yeah, we're gonna crack Cap open first. Okay, so this is the new packaging that we get here for the classic Marvel Legend packaging. It's a throwback to the original Marvel Legends packaging, which I actually prefer this way more than that plastic clamshell packaging that they had that was really difficult to open. This is closer to kind of the retro wave kind of card, but you got all the same colors, and it's very nostalgic for me as well, like, because I've been collecting Legends for so long, and just seeing this brings back a lot of memories. And I wonder if they're going to put out the other series, maybe series 2, series 3, I don't know. Anyways, so let's just read the back really quick here. For 20 years, the Marvel Legends series has brought the iconic characters and storylines of Marvel Universe to fans worldwide. To celebrate the 2002 Toy Biz debut release, Marvel Legends proudly presents the 20th Series 1, featuring Captain America, Iron Man, Hulk, and Toad! Yeah, 2002, man. Wow, that's crazy to think way back. I think I was like 7 years old back then. 2002, wow, that's when the Toad Nuva released. And I guess maybe that was Crystal version for Pokemon? Or that might have been 2001. Anyways, I think, and I always think in kind of what sort of toy or collectible I was collecting at the time. But so I think the best way to get into this here, by the looks of it, is through the butt of the box. So let's go in through the butt. Tear it apart here. I'm not really interested in keeping this box intact. I just don't want to break anything that's inside. I know there's a cardboard piece in there. Maybe we'll pull out the old trusty knife here, and this will help us out so that we don't fucking destroy this thing. Oh man, this is difficult. I'm so scared. I don't want to friggin' scratch the figure or cut anything in there. Oh, there we go. Okay, I got it. Yeah, I'm just gonna tear this whole back off. It's gonna be sad. It's torn, but we gotta do what we gotta do, don't we? Oh, there we go. Okay, that did not open very nicely, but whatever. We're not keeping that. But here is Cap. He's almost out. But first, let's take a quick look. This little backdrop here, this thing's super cool. Oh man, that's one thing, like I kind of didn't really discover the whole, card thing in the back of the box until a little more recently. And now, like, they're so valuable now because they make such cool little pieces, and you can do these nice close-ups, and you got a great background you can use. And this is a little homage to the plastic little diorama that came with the original figure. This looks really cool too. This is, I guess, 109. I guess that's issue 109 from back in the 40s, probably. This is way old school. Just breaking through the newspaper. Love that. Love that. Okay, we'll put that aside for now, just over here. And we'll get Cap out of here. Oh, man. There we go. Don't need that. Okay. We got the 20th year anniversary. I might actually keep this intact if possible. Yeah, because that's kind of a nice little side piece, maybe. Put that somewhere. And then we got this base here, which the looks like that thing plugs into. And then here's a little terms of service or whatever the hell this is. Warning labels, whatever. Marvel Legends printed nicely onto this thing. That is very cool. Yeah, that's pretty cool, right? I mean, simple, but does the job. I think they should. Honestly, I'd love if they put out more of these little bases. Get a couple more of these cards. These are very nice. Here, I'm gonna stick that right on there. I'm gonna put that in the back, as we always do with these cardboard backings. Very, very cool. I'll stick that right there. A nice background, and then let's slap that over there for now too. Cool. Now the main event. So we got Cap here. We're gonna get the painful part out of the way. Whew. Yikes. Okay. Let's set that aside for now. We got the shield out too. Let's start with the figure. Okay. We got Cap here. Wow. Okay. So this is a little familiar to me. I actually did get the 80th anniversary Cap. I had that one for a little bit. Good figure, a little dark, but I mean, depending on the kind of setup you're doing, like, could definitely work out. I liked it. I preferred the first head sculpt, but I scuffed the nose on it, unfortunately. But I ended up trading that one in. Anyways, this particular Cap has a beautiful head sculpt, as you can probably see. Let's get in closer here. Yeah, check that out. I wasn't sure what to make of it at first. I was like a little surprised, but now having it in hand, especially, like, this looks really good. Super delicate little wings on the side. The A is crisp. The eyes are blue. The chin is dimpled. Very nice. Like, this is a kind of a more youthful looking Cap, I feel, as well. I felt like the other head sculpts and a lot of the ones we've gotten in the past were very aged, very old school, old man Cap kind of looking. But yeah, I really dig this harness here. This is a nice detail. They kind of threw in sort of these little loopies in one of the older releases, and I'm glad that they kind of revived that and brought it back, because this looks really good on there. And oh man, this even feels good. Like the scaling here, that's really cool. You can even see there's some nice paint detailing here too, which is really good. A little in the back too. It looks like a sweat spot, but in this light, but that's just shadowing. And then yeah, man, this is so iconic looking. God. Cool. All right. It looks like we got a lot of goodies with this one. Got some cool effects, a little cowl, and yeah, another cool effect. Quite a few hands here. On the shield here, we have this sweet electrical effect. I'm definitely thinking about like some kind of Thor versus Cap kind of collision here. This would be really cool for, or like some laser blast, who knows. Nice big shield, definitely the bigger shield that I've gotten from them. It took them a while to kind of figure out scaling for these figures for a long time. They finally come to a really good scale for a lot of these characters with each other and their tools and whatnot. But yeah, it takes a lot of trial and error, you know. Like Hasbro, they've definitely come a long way. But yeah, let's mess around with some of the different interchangeables here. And of course, here we have the unmasked head sculpt. Like I said, this is definitely a more youthful looking Cap. And I think it's perfect, actually, you know, because he's kind of, you know, got that sort of charming kind of look to him. You know, he's got the butt chin is perfect. But yeah, sweet eyes, you know, got a nice coiffed hair. I think they did a really good job with this. And, you know, having the little cowl, this is like the second time I've seen them do this. I think the first time was with the Wolverine mask. These things are essential. These are so cool. They got to give people a Spider-Man crumpled up little mask or whatever to stick in someone's hand. They got to do a Thor removable helmet or something. But yeah, this is such a good little idea. Nice little accessory detail. I'm sure it's not that expensive too to produce a little add-on to that too. But yeah, perfect head sculpt. This looks so cool. And you know, it also kind of harkens back to Toy Biz's most like legendary Captain America figure, which they came out with a couple different versions of him, but one that was most iconic had a unmask and a mask version. So originally you'd have to buy two figures to get this kind of ability to have him unmasked. Same with that Wolverine that came out back in the old days, the Astonishing one. Now you get the interchangeable heads and it's so much more playability, but it also is a double edge because now I'm just buying figures of the same figure just to get extra head sculpts for one figure. So it's kind of funny how that works out, but yeah, this is great. Very hopeful looking. Man, they got it. They got it. Oh wow, this is definitely a money shot. You know, we got Cap here. He's definitely he's giving you the finger, or at least his kind of finger, and you know, he maybe scalding someone. Very expressive. I had never had these open hands for a Cap figure before, so that's really cool. I think it's gonna kind of open up a lot of options for posing. You know, I guess it's sort of the throwing the shield kind of piece, right? So very cool. And you got two of those actually, which comes in handy. Literally. Here's a little Red Skull action. I think these are great. They kind of came out around the same time, so they knew that people would be totally wanting to pose these together. And I mean, it just adds to the playability when you got more characters, you know, in the casts of these heroes. And you know, this is great. Like obviously this little effect here is made for his little you know, little mini machine gun, whatever. It's very cool. All right, yeah, this effect was literally made for Cap and Thor to face off. This looks so cool. Man, am I stoked about these figures. And then the colors on him are so vibrant. The blue is so sharp. It's like a cobalt blue. I really dig that. Man. And yeah, of course, you gotta have crossovers with Thor here. This looks so cool. Man, it just blows my mind, the things they can do. You know, this is so cool. I think a very common gripe for a lot of people I've watched a few reviews on this figure already, but it's the fact that it's great that you can have these little plugins for those effects, but it does suck that if you don't want to have the effects, you got to make sure you got another extra shield handy, because otherwise you got the little holes and it's not terrible. It's just a little off-putting, right? Now I've heard people say that they could have maybe packed in a second shield that might have solved the problem, but you know what? These guys are getting more and more expensive all the time, so I'm not going to complain too much, especially because I feel this is pretty much a perfect figure. And I think if my one gripe is that I would want a little more, that's how they keep you wanting more, right? I'm sure they'll re-release this figure again in some other vintage box, and we'll likely get the shield without the holes and stuff. So they're being good about that. They've been very good. Oh man, and he definitely pairs well with my new Black Widow, who I got. I mean, it's new and old, right? I got two different figures here, kind of kit bashed, but I love this short hairdo. I think it looks really cool, and yeah, it kind of matches nicely with the new Cap too. Like very nicely detailed, and I think these two look really good side by side. It kind of, for me, it kind of harkens back to that Ultimate Avengers movie that came out way back. Love that movie. I watched it like hundreds of times growing up. It was sort of one of my first introductions to the Avengers was that. And it was a great introduction because and I really like the art style, and Black Widow looked super hot in it, and this figure here looks really great. It's a great interpretation, and I think these definitely match up well together. And I could definitely see this is like highly iconic, these looks, and I'm just like so excited to be collecting these figures. Oh man, and this looks really cool too. I just think I wish I had an unmasked head for like every single character. It just feels like a must now. Like this looks so cool. I mean, just like once again, it reminds me of the Ultimate Avengers, but the second movie, Ultimate Avengers 2. You know, they introduced Black Panther. That looked really cool. This head sculpt's obviously from the Shield 2-pack, but it makes a great little T'Challa head. Like I said before, though, if they produce an actual animated or an actual comic book T'Challa, I'd love to see some of those cool designs, you know, shaved into the side of his head. But we'll see what they end up putting out. But I bring them up too just because of my Avengers Wakandan Safari stop motion I made. It was kind of one of my earlier stop motions since I've kind of been back at it. But I had featured these four characters, like obviously plus Hawkeye, and I want to continue that story. I want to do the next little part, you know, where maybe they fight Ultron and stuff, and Claw, and if I could get, you know, all new figures for all of these characters and kind of implement them into this new stop motion, I think it would look really cool. Ah, there we go. Yeah, this effect here, not for your beginner action figure displayer. Took a little finesse here to figure out how this effect actually is supposed to be used, but I think we got the knife here, maybe he's dragging it along, and then there's that final point where it kind of just spews out. I think that's what they were thinking, I guess. But yeah, it's very, very cool. I definitely challenged with this figure, and I think, you know, there's a lot of cool displays that can probably come out of this. Obviously Cap here looks so cool fighting these Hydra soldiers. I just got these guys too. Very, very cool pairing these characters up. But yeah, all in all, I would highly recommend getting this Cap if you can get your hands on it. Super posable, super well painted, just very overall dope figure. And you know, get yourself a Red Skull or a Zemo so you got someone for him to fight. Looks so cool with these characters, and oh man, I can't wait to get him posed with all my Avengers. It's gonna be so cool. Oh man.
Not today, Skull.
Let me know what you guys think of this Cap if you got him in hand already. You know, comment below. Let's kind of discuss. We can both gush over how awesome this figure is. Yeah, one thing I actually just thought is I wonder if his shield isn't on his back, if he would actually have these straps on him. I wonder about that actually, because I think those straps are supposed to be what holds the shield onto his arm, which just another shield gripe, just really quick. They gave us this kind of pin thing. Hang on a sec, I'm just gonna pop it off. So yeah, we got this little device here, which it actually looks like it's made of a little bit of a harder plastic, or I don't know what, but it's definitely like scary because this thing tends to get, you know, sore and snap after a while. And actually what was good about having this little plug in here is if you have the open hand that's kind of shaped like this, then you can just have it sit into that hand, and then you can have it holding it even lower, or you know, it's a little more dynamic with how that can work. But this figure, particular one, doesn't come with any of those open hands, or those slightly closed hands, or grabby hands, or whatever they are. So it kind of sucks. You won't be able to really use that, and kind of have to rely on this clip piece, which I definitely don't trust. So it's got to be careful, I guess. But you know, figure itself is freaking great. Now I got my shield agents here escorting Captain America. A little reminiscent of Civil War when they all kind of ganged up on him. And, I can, like, imagine, I remember the quote from one of the soldiers, like, when Maria Hill's like, capture Captain America, take him out. And they're like, sir, ma'am, that's Captain America, though. And it's very, like, improbable that they would have to go after him. But yeah, and here's Nick Fury. So it's not quite that scene because Nick Fury was in hiding at this time. But yeah, this looks really cool. Maybe this is the moment that he gets unthawed from the ice too, the origin of Captain America. So great. This makes another great little backdrop, little comic book sort of thing. But this is another great sort of pairing for Cap with these S.H.I.E.L.D. agents, because Cap has a pretty long relationship with S.H.I.E.L.D. I mean, I feel like he was partly what helped create it. I think it was like Peggy Carter and Tommy Lee Jones's character that kind of founded it originally. So it's kind of cool, right, to think of that. But those early movies, like, they established a lot for world building. Captain America has so much stuff packed in it that all plays out throughout the next, like, 10 years of MCU. And it's very, very cool. Very cool. Okay, now we're gonna open the supervillains Baron Zemo. This figure is really cool looking. I like his head sculpt. It's got very intense eyes. Awesome box art, looking very menacing with this lighting. Let's take a look at the little descriptor here. Born into greatness and great darkness, Helmut Zemo is a man of terrific and terrible genius. The 13th Baron Zemo has sworn everlasting vengeance against his family's nemesis, Captain America. Haha. That's pretty crazy. Okay. I mean, yeah, so this is our second iteration that we get of the Baron. He's the son of the original one who we met in the old comic books. But, he's following his daddy's footsteps, but in a little bit more of a gray area, I think, where his dad was actually truly the evil one. I feel like this particular Zemo is a little more gray, and I think he does like the Thunderbolts and a bunch of other stuff. And I know the movies really kind of depict him. He's as a force of good and bad as well. So I'm interested to see where they'll go with that. Maybe he'll be, I know they've got Thunderbolts planned, so I guess we might see how that plays out. He'll probably be leading on that one. But we're just going to open them up and get a feel for the figure. Whoa! There we are. Another one of these beautiful bright green, gamma green backgrounds. Very, very cool. Yeah, I think I got like 4 of these now, so I can really light up the space of it. Just gonna stick that in the very back. Okay, so let's get the painful part out of the way. Oh my god, that is so painful. But here he is. We've got him out of the packaging. Oh, the head is nice. Whoa, look at this. Look at that head swivel. That is perfect. Man, that's going to be very expressive. And it's nice and easy to move. Like, this is going to be so sick for stop motion. I love that. All right, and we got these here, which kind of are... this is a great little technology they've kind of invented for the shoulder pads. I've seen these on the Ultron figure, and yeah, you can get like a full rotation out of them, and they look really cool. They're sturdy. They don't really hinder articulation. Like, it's a solid piece. We got this cool belt buckle here, which does bend forward a little bit. If you aren't careful, I think that might actually fuck with it a little too much, so be careful. But yeah, we got a nice fisted arm here. This one is pretty good. It's working on the same body as the Red Skull figure. just a little couple tweaks. It's definitely a great sculpt. I can see them making a lot of good characters, you know, in these sort of baggy jumpsuit looking things, you know. The legs look a little different. The legs might be actually Bucky Cap legs, maybe. Yeah, I don't know. Okay, and then the belt, the big WrestleMania champion of the world belt, looks pretty damn good. It's a nice shiny gold, which is cool. The lines are crisp on here. It's quite nice. A little print, cheetah print or leopard print or whatever, looks pretty good. The boots, solid. Yeah, okay, I like this. And then yeah, this is really sculpted well. Sick. Yes, Zemo, maniacally planning and pondering things. He's very, very menacing looking. They did a great job on the little paint detailings here on the cowl. There's a little black shading in those grooves, which is nice. The grooves are actually sculpted in. That's so cool. Yeah, and his little golden crown or whatever, it is a nice gold. It matches the belt, and yeah, he looks very, very cool. I quite like that. The rest of him is pretty much just a plain purple, and bright yellow for the gloves and for the boots. But I like how much it pops, you know, and I think it's gonna definitely look good with some Hydra agents, you know, that bright yellow. So let's take a look at those accessories that came with him. We get this very, very nice sword. The silver on it has a nice sheen to it, as you can see. That looks so cool. And yeah, the hilt is just a plain gold, but you know, I like it. It almost feels like a translucent gold. Kind of really shines. And yeah, you got a nice little pommel to that too. Looks like a little dollar. And yeah, I think this is one of the nicest swords that I've actually gotten. I don't know if this is a reuse. Let me know in the comments if you guys have ever seen this particular sword anywhere. But yeah, it's very, very cool. And then yeah, having the wrist articulation like this way is perfect for those lunges and parries. So that's really, really good that they gave him one of these. And yeah, there's definitely a lot of poses you can get him in with this thing. So it's very, very cool accessory. I'm glad that they packed it in with it. Yeah, I don't think he came with a Build-A-Figure, so that's actually not too bad in my opinion, just because I don't always end up collecting the Build-A-Figure. So, but sometimes it's nice because I'll use it for a little trade-in material and get some discounts on some figures at my local action figure collectibles shop. So yeah, all right, let's take a look at these extra hands. Yes, he's got these little grabby hands, these creepy little grabby hands. They'll grab stuff, and you can hold them in these hands, and maybe he can also scratch with them. I don't know. Yeah, but yeah, these are solid. You know, it's good to have this kind of extra pair. I mean, they also make for a good relaxed hand pose as well. So really good that they paired these in. And yeah, you could probably get them to hold the sword with these hands as well. But you just won't get that the lunge-in ability, you know. You won't get the lunge, but I guess you can, you know, block with it if you wanted. Whoa. Get the block for, or with the flat end you can hit with it. I don't know, but very cool. He's got the extra hands. I can't really think of what else I would have added to this figure. I think really it's kind of just perfect on its own. Like the first kind of iteration of Zemo that I was familiar with growing up was the original Toy Biz Zemo, which I used in my own stop motion, but I originally saw it in I think it was Trick Shots stop motion way back, one of the earlier Marvel Legends stop motions. and just really loved his character in that one. Super funny voice, but yeah. So that was for me. I was like, I got to get that Zemo, and then I ended up doing my own little version and kind of homage to that voice and stuff. So, and it wasn't until Avengers: Earth's Mightiest Heroes, which friggin' love that show, that I got to see Zemo in this form. I guess the actual yeah, his son. So that was my first take on that Zemo, which I love that Zemo. How cool he was, how calculated, like very, very, very dope interpretation. And I really do prefer this costume a lot more. I think it looks way better and a lot less, I don't know, silly. I mean, the draping was kind of neat. I like that. It reminded me of Snake, I guess, or Snake Eyes, or Cobra Commander. That's it, in G.I. Joe. So yeah, definitely liked that look. But this head is amazing. Like, I mean, this head's articulation is just next to none. Like, I don't know. Just being able to tilt it to the side like that. I don't know. They definitely thought a lot about how people can pose this guy menacingly.
You die today, Captain.
Think twice, son.
All right, a little bit of Red Skull Zemo team up going on here. This looks cool. Yeah, I gotta just say, at first I wasn't thinking of building a Hydra group, but I eventually kind of caved. I saw some Shield agents, and I said to myself, okay, I'll get a very small little collection. Especially once I got that Red Skull. That was really what inspired me. Was once I got him, I was like, okay, I got to do this. So I'm kind of missing two more, and then I'll feel complete with this here. But I want to get that new Madam Hydra. I think that's going to be a really dope figure. She's going to look great. She's badass villainess. I loved her in Earth's Mightiest Heroes. She was great, teaming up with Cap. Unlikely team up. And then I'd also like to get the Arnim Zola figure, which it's funny, I used to have Arnim Zola way back when he was a Build-A-Figure, but I didn't have Red Skull, I didn't have any other Hydra characters, so I ended up trading him off because, yeah, he's not as cool on his own, per se. Yeah, this is very, very cool. I'm stoked to have these figures, and yeah, I think I would recommend this Baron Zemo very highly. I would very much recommend him. If you don't have a Red Skull, get yourself a Baron Zemo. He's a great, I guess, alternative for a Captain America nemesis. So, yeah. All right, and here is my of Evil. They look really sick together. I've really tried to curate this set, you know, kind of color-wise and character spread, you know, and kind of roles that they would play on the team. I know there are different iterations of the Masters of Evil throughout the comics. This is kind of a mismatch of members from different teams. But I think this looks really cool. I'd love to get a Crimson Dino, but I do have a Ironmonger, which I use with these guys as well. In my Avengers Mansion of Madness stop motion, I had this team basically attack the Avengers Mansion, and yeah, it was a pretty cool little piece. Probably will link to it here, but I definitely want to make use of these guys again, and especially with this new Zemo figure. This looks really cool, and it really matches up well. There's a certain point with those Toy Biz figures that they just start to kind of age out of kind of the build of, you know, the rest of the line now. So I have been kind of slowly selling off some of my Toy Biz figures, and I've only got a few scarce ones left just to fill rolls. But you know, I'm just crossing my fingers and hoping that they'll put out new versions of them. Like, it's not that they're bad figures, it's just, you know, there's new ones that have come out that are improvements from their predecessor, and it's just in a different area now. But yeah, this is a great team. I you know, in the comments below, let me know what you guys would have for your Masters of Evil dream team. Which characters would you have on it? For me, this is sort of mine. The only one I kind of would like to add to it, there's two really, is the Black Knight. I'd like to get him. It's really hard to find that figure. It goes for a lot right now. I'm hoping they'll re-release it maybe in the retro packaging or something. But I definitely wanted to get him but like, I really just think he looks cool, especially the big like knight helmet, classic knight helmet with the bird on the top. I wanted that guy to be a part of this one, kind of represent the original Black Knight. That was the bad guy in the first Avengers comics. And I also wouldn't mind getting Absorbing Man. He's pretty cool. It's just always harder to come by the Build-A-Figures at a good price. But yeah, so very cool.